So I've noticed for a long time since I've been on the spiritual path that there does seem to be an effect that comes up for me when the moon is full. I feel sensitive to it. Now, my astrology sign is Cancer, so that is my planet, and some would say that would make it, affect me more, what the moon is up to. And I've heard theories related to gravitational pull, but it doesn't make sense to me. I don't even know if the moon is any closer just because we can see more of it. The fullness of it has to do with the angle of the sun and so forth. And so minor fluctuations in gravitational pull doesn't seem to make sense. But today, as a full moon has been presenting itself, and I've felt through the various increased sensitivity and just, feeling like extra aware and cautious and less grounded, I realized something that might have some connection to why the full moon may affect people. And like many things, I like to look at the biological roots and see if there's any relevance, any lingering effect that comes from our biology, our ancestry, the fact that we have evolved from other forms over time, and that those effects may still linger on an unconscious level. So I thought about how so much, in the world of animals surviving, and I think the reason that we're able to start to let in more spirit motivation into our lives is we're spending less time just worrying about surviving. If you're worried about survival, then spiritual exploration and your deepening of your existential purpose is a luxury. If you're just trying to eat and find shelter. So for so long in our history, in our kind of genetic history of being an animal, everything was about surviving and constantly being on the lookout for threats. And so I thought about how the full moon would affect that kind of sense of safety. And the night is very bright when there's a full moon. And if you're on an animal level more protected by the darkness, it's harder to see you, and therefore you have more of a cloaked effect and you're a little safer, then you're not as safe when the moon is full. You are illuminated, and you have to be more sensitive if you have any predators out there. And on the flip side, for that animal part of you that is/was a predator, then you can hunt better. You can use your eyes. And that takes a kind of increased awareness as well. Whether you are predator or prey, there is an increased energy to the night of a full moon. And that would make sense as to why, if we have inherited that through evolution, we are programmed in a way to be more aware. And we can utilize that awareness even if we have no physical threats to our survival, and we can comfort ourselves too and say, okay, I'm fine. I might be feeling a little bit more intense than normal, sensitized, but that doesn't mean I'm under any kind of threat. But utilizing that sensitivity can be still something helpful in terms of saying, okay, with these feelings coming up, the sensitization that I'm experiencing, is there anything that I've been ignoring about my life in terms of how I'm spending my time, what I'm doing with my life, my relationships, all the bigger things? Because if we're feeling grounded and comfortable and relaxed in life, probably not going to be putting a lot of energy towards examining much. It's going to be more about experiencing and enjoying what is. But when we're feeling sensitized, and this is something that can occur if you are affected, if you do notice an effect of full moon, that it can occur on a regular basis. So it can be a little check-in period to see, okay, is there anything that I need to look at here that I've been ignoring in life? But anyhow, I thought that the idea that there might be a connection to animals preying upon each other at night, and that constant desire for safety that comes from being an animal, that there might be some relevance there. And I do believe that, you know, the transition that we're experiencing as humans is about getting away from a brutal existence of kill or be killed, which still happens, you know, for many humans, but a much smaller percentage than 20,000 years ago or whatever. So we are making a transition to a more peaceful way of being, which allows us to deal with subtle energies. And I think that the realm of spirit is about subtle energies, and it's about interconnectedness. So this is the transition that we are undertaking right now, and moving towards more peaceful way of being and less brutality, more peace. Thanks for listening.